Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled The Cost of a Two-Day War in Gaza. 2 weeks back, we had the war in Gaza. We assassinated one of Islamic Jihad's leaders, and Baruch Hashem, successful. And that caused a mini war. They lobbed a few hundred missiles into Israel, many into heavily populated areas. We responded. The world didn't condemn us as much as usual, actually, which is interesting, but it's a separate discussion. And the question is, what's the cost and the analysis of the cost? So some fascinating figures. In terms of the economy, the fact that there's so many people, the whole South took off, and many people in Tel Aviv took off. So that is $500,000 just from the economy alone. In one of the articles, the cost to the economy could amount to as much as 500 million shekel, taking into account that so many businesses had to just close down, especially in the southern area. That's the economical cost, besides the war itself. In terms of the war, listen to some of these figures. Each time we have to shoot down a rocket, how much does it cost? Each time we shoot down with the Iron Dome, an incredible system, how much does it cost? So it's $50,000 each time, 175,000 shekel to knock each missile down. The total cost in 2 days was 32 million shekel just for that alone. Then how much does it cost to run an army each day? In the middle of war, 80 million shekel. The figures are astonishing. So it's 80 million shekel each day, 160 million. Then you have another 150 for the Iron Dome. 175,000. So the costs are unbelievable. The economy, 800 million shekel for 2-day war. And just the figures, how much does it cost to run an F-16 for an hour? An Apache helicopter for an hour? A drone. Each one of these for 1 hour is 30, 40, 50,000 shekel to run an F-16. A drone is 20,000 shekel an hour. An F-15 is 100,000 shekel an hour. These costs are astonishing. So the figures that could come out, 800 million shekel for 2-day war. Those are just dry facts, more or less. There'd be different opinions on the exact cost, but somewhere that's the ballpark figure. What do we do with those figures? So there's cause for joy and cause for sadness. Sadness, of course, at 800 million shekel. Had to go to deal with these Rishayim. No other country would have an 800 million shekel war in this situation. Can you imagine Mexico lobbing missiles into Texas? America would spend 800 million shekel on a 2-day war with precision attacks into the bedroom of the arch terrorist? No. Mexico will be part of history. It would be such a clear victory for America that Mexico would never think of doing anything like that again. So the fact that we have to fight with our arms tied behind our backs is so depressing. So depressing. When Israel wanted to sell the Iron Dome after this incredible success and protective edge a few years ago, a country goes ahead and has missiles shot down by another country. It's unbelievable. This is such a marketable technology. No, it's not. The countries around the world hardly bought it. What country is going to go ahead and has a missile come raining in on you? You're going to have to stop it? We're just going to destroy the other country. We're going to have a war. We're not going to try to stop the bullet. That's not what we're going to put our money in. We're going to develop technology to destroy them to have a victory. So that's depressing. Depressing that's where the world is at, that they force us to fight with our hands tied behind their back, or some would say they don't force us, we decide and we cave in. That's a big question, but either way, the bottom line is all the prime ministers, this is how they fought. So you could just say, well, if I was prime minister, I would fight differently. Yeah, it's easy to speak from our couches. Lamaisa, for whatever reason, this is how we fight, and that's sad. On the other hand, to me, I am always looking for the part of the cup that's half full. And the cup is way more than half full. Let's look back in Jewish history when the Gentiles Not all Gentiles are evil, but when the evil Gentiles, those who were evil and Rishon who wanted to kill us, when they decided it was time for a pogrom, and it was time to expel us, and it was time to kill us, and assassinate us, and mass murder, when they decided, then they decided. And what did we do? Not much. Yet a few run away into the forests, a few escape, a few convert, and the rest of us just died. Not because we were whims and we just went our deaths. We had nothing at our disposal. We had no way to fight back. So we could fight back now. We can assassinate the terrorist and tell them we're going to go after more of you. Naftali Bennett, defense minister, made it very clear. We're going to go after you again. Assassinated targets, it's back. Listen, it's not back. It is back either way. It's good. It's confusing for the enemies. They don't know what Israel's even thinking. So we could fight back. So is it a bit of a pathetic fight where we could just clobber them and instead we have all these ridiculous rules of war? It's pathetic. But I will take this pathetic war over the war in Germany where there's no war. They decided to kill us. We got killed. The allies around the world, silence, more or less. They were heroes, righteous Gentiles for sure. But Bigadol, if 6 million Jews and Gentiles died, the world was silent. And the Spanish Inquisition and all the massacres over the years, the world's silent and we are just left to be killed. And now the game is different. The rules have changed. So just to summarize, the cost of the war, yes, almost $1 billion shekel in 2 days. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's depressing that we need to do this. But on the positive side, this is an amazing bracha that we have the top army in the Mideast, in many aspects, top army in the world. We have the ability to do things that most armies cannot do. And the fact is, if it almost cost $1 billion shekel for this war, thank God we were able to do it. And there's a deterrence. I even mentioned that Hamas did not get involved. They stayed aside, which was an amazing rupture between them and Islamic Jihad. They didn't join together, which shows that Hamas realizes, don't start with Israel. Lay low. There's so many brachos, so many brachos. As many brachos, they come with challenges, but nevertheless, brachos, blessings from God, that we have our young heroes in the army, young from 18 up to the highest ranks, doing everything to defend their brothers so we could live in Beit Shemesh and around Israel. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Tzal. Thank you to all of the people involved in this war and in all the wars defending our holy nation and our holy land. Shalom.